Okay.
Yes, we had, as you know, July meetings are sometimes tough. They're in terms of turnout and focus. But we had a meeting earlier this month. We had some interesting topics, update from Friends of Petrosino, introduction to the Christopher Park Partnership, and we had one that was, we thought, important and timely. That was some complaints we'd heard about activities in Washington Square Park. I think overall, people have been very pleased with the renovations. The turnout or the use of the park is extraordinary, but in recent weeks we had heard of some concerns, and so we asked Sarah Nielsen, the Washington Square Park administrator, about them. We told her about these complaints we heard from neighbors and park goers, particularly some of the musicians, and we asked her opinion, and we heard her responses. And so we were moved to create a resolution, and I'll read it to you, but all we're doing with this resolution is trying to recognize these concerns and asking parks to work with us to address them. So the parks, some of them are in the short term. You can read about skateboarders. I don't know if any of you do it. I've seen some of you on skateboards. I don't mean to call you out, but you're not allowed to skateboard in the park. Not only do people skateboard through, they often set up jumps and do tricks and film themselves doing that. And the danger is when they fall off and their skateboards shoot across like missiles. So that's one concern. We asked them to actually enforce those rules. The second was the music. They've been very careful about balancing enforcement of rules with the local community's desire to allow free expression. But people who live in the community are complaining about this as droning, very loud drumming and horn playing, non-amplified, but very loud. And at the meeting, a musician who does follow the rules, plays acoustic music, I said he's just being drowned out, and so he asked us to talk to parks about trying to balance that loud music that's, a free expression. And the third was we had heard some concerns about people coming into the park after closing time. The park has no gates. It's actually, if you think about it, around the arch, it's very open. And so, and the police can't monitor it constantly. And so people go into the park in the middle of the night after it closes. It's really hard to close. So as you'll see in the resolution, what we said was, I'll just read the therefore it is resolved. The first point, we asked the Parks Department to propose physical and operational means of controlling these disturbing activities, in this case with skateboarding, including stronger and more consistent enforcement of existing park rules while working with CB2 and park users to develop approaches tailored to the special needs of the park. The second point was that the Parks Department review its current policies and consider changes that would limit noise and disturbances in the park. And the third is that the Parks Department work with CB2, the local police department, and other interested community members to address the need for improved enforcement of park hours, including installation of ways to close the entrances that are more secure, effective, and attractive. So that was the resolution. It passed 8-1.
Thank you. Is that the only resolution? That's it. Okay, let's take a vote. All those in favor of the resolution? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see you back. I don't see you. Okay, thank you, Kat.
What is our procedure on resolutions and letting people know what they're about before it happens? I mean, Captain Swan's correct, I believe, in saying that before we have a resolution about the gates of the park, we need to do something about it.
Well, that's true. This is not a resolution about the gates of the park. This is a resolution.
But it talks about including installation of ways to close the entrance that are more secure, effective, and attractive.
Yes.
So what is that about?
It could be, that's what we want the Parks Department to start to think about. It could be a chain with a sign on it. It could be...
So you're not recommending a particular course of action. You're asking the Parks Department to look into it and study it.
They said we needed to give them some direction so they could start expending the resources to start to look into this. We will have a